Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi, I am Sazwan Najmi bin Masuri, and today I would like to present my research, which is the title Relationship between Coach Leadership Styles and Athlete Satisfaction. Dear panel, thank you for your time for this presentation. So, without wasting our time, let's get started. First of all, I will go through for the background of study. Based on Neshat and Keshat 2009, coach leadership styles have a significant relationship with the athlete's performance and satisfaction. In sport, coaches are one of the major contributors to athlete success. Generally, coaches have big responsibilities towards their athletes. They are responsible to guide and to give an important instruction that can help the athlete to go through with training and competition. According Culture ETAL 2017, the athlete's developments as well as overall performance in sport heavily relied on the athlete's relationship with her or her coach. When they have a good relationship, every contribution will be recognized and expressive positive feedback for them. According to Celadurai and Rimmer 1998, group performance and member satisfaction are dependent upon the congruence of required, prefer, and perceived leader behavior. Next, according Smith and Smool 1997, coaching is an important leadership competency and it has been found to have important effects on performance attitudes. Coaches may use a variety of approach and motivating strategies to motivate participant or athlete, and each athlete may respond to coaching leadership in a unique way. Athlete satisfaction is an important variable in sports psychology. According to Celadurai and Rimmer 1997, a positive effective stated resulting from a complex evaluations of the structure, process, and outcome associated with the athletic experience. And based on Brian McKenzie 2003, also said that coaches motivate the athlete with and provide them effective training and improve athlete performance. Next, statement of problem. There are two problem statements, which is first, the effectiveness of coach leadership styles, and second, athletes are not satisfied with their performance. Based on my study, athletes' satisfaction rely on many factors such as in this case, effective assessment of coach leadership style is critical to determine which style is effective in bringing the best performance and satisfaction from the athletes. According to Mohsen Wahdani 2012, different coaches will have different leadership style to lead or to guide their team. Now, I go with a research objective, which is there are three objectives that I measure for my study. First, to identify which coach leadership style is more preferred by UiTM Seremban athletes. And second, to determine athlete satisfaction in UiTM Seremban. And lastly is to identify the relationship between perceived coach leadership styles and athlete satisfaction in UiTM Seremban. Okay, for the literature review, there is a theories of leadership. There are as many different views of leadership as there are characteristics that distinguish leaders from non-leaders. While most research today has shifted from traditional trait or personality-based theories to a situation theory, which detects that the situation in which leadership is exercised is determined by the leadership skills and characteristic of the leader. There is from the Avolia, Olumbua, and Weber 2009. In theories leadership, there are four for I doing the research that I choose. First thing is situational and contingency leadership theories. Second, the house pets goal theory, Fiedler contingency theory, and the last one is behavioral leadership theory. Next, for the literature review, is the leadership styles. In the leadership style, they have three, which is first democratic. According Dahl 1989 and Fishkin 1981, have proclaimed that democratic leadership influence people in a manner consistent with basic democratic principles and processes such as deliberation, equal participation, inclusiveness, and self-determination. This is support cited in Gastil 1984 and Basit 2017. So, the second one is autocratic. According to Adebakin and Jibadamosi 1996, describe an autocratic leader as one who is very aware of his position and has little faith or trust in his subordinates. For the last one is laissez-faire. According to Liduga 1992, proclaimed that laissez-faire leadership is associated with unproductiveness, inefficiency, and dissatisfaction. That is support cited in a Koch and Namusen's 2012 and Basit 2017. Next, I will go through to the methodology. In methodology, they contain 5 components, which is research design, sampling, instrumentation, data collection procedure, and then lastly, data analysis. Okay, I will go to the first point in methodology, which is research design. First, the researcher use descriptive correlational study to meet the research objective and as a research instrument. And second one is a set of questionnaire, which is Google Form, had distributed to athlete in UiTM Seremban. For the population and sampling, total population of athlete in UiTM Seremban is about 360. The data was given by the unit Sukan UiTM Seremban based on 2020 statistic. According to the table Krejci and Morgan 1970, the estimated sample needs to be taken from the total number of population is 186, while to 20% sample need to be added to avoid unwritten rate or dropout. So, the total sampling which the sample size is consists of athletes Seremban. Questionnaire will be used to collect all the data to fulfill the research objective, and simple random sampling methods will be used in the study to find the sample size that will answer the questionnaire. The sampling technique are being chosen because every member of the population has probability being selected for the sample. So I will continue the population and sampling, which is inclusion and exclusion criteria. For the inclusion criteria, they involve athlete in UiTM Seremban. The athlete must age 90 to 23 years old and involve any sports and must be an athlete that representative at least for faculty. For the exclusion criteria, athlete from other university and age below 18 years old and above 24 years old. Okay, next I will go to the component in methodology, which is instrumentation. So the questionnaire will be used as the instrumentation. First, for coach leadership styles, questionnaire has adopted and adapted from Zeng Jensen and Mans 1997, which is revised leadership scale for sport. For the athlete satisfaction questionnaire from Rimmer and Chaladurai 1998 was used to determine athlete satisfaction. From the slide, what we can see, there are three sections, which is first, section A, demographic profile. They contains age, gender, educational level. So for the section B, coach leadership styles, it consists of 38 items that contain 5 of subskills. Meanwhile, for section C, athlete satisfaction, it consists of 19 items that contain 4 subskills. Next, I go to the data collection procedure. First, get ethical approval from your ITM research committee unit to conduct the study. Then, make sure the questionnaire have valid crossbar alpha and run pilot study tests to verify the validity of the questionnaire. Next, refer and get the permission from supervisor to proceed the topic of the study. Fourth is distribute the questionnaire via Google Form to the respondent. And the lastly is review the questionnaire answer by the respondent and gather the data for evaluation. For the data analysis, there are three research objective and data analysis. So first, the research objective is to identify which coach leadership style is most preferred by your ATM Seremban athlete. So for the data analysis, researcher use the descriptive analysis. For the second one, research objective is to determine athlete satisfaction in your ATM Seremban. Also, researcher use descriptive analysis. For the last one is to identify the relationship between perceived coach leadership style and athlete satisfaction in your ATM Seremban. And for the data analysis, researcher use person correlation analysis. Next, I go through with a result from my research objective. So for my research objective for one, which is to identify which coach leadership style is more preferred by UiTM Seremban athletes, and researcher use a descriptive analysis. From the table, the highest mean score was positive feedback, which is mean 4.5816, standard deviation 0.45128. And the lowest mean score was on autocratic behavior, which is mean 3.0461 and standard deviation 1.089. For the RO2, which is to determine athlete satisfaction in UiTM Seremban, and I also use descriptive analysis. From the table, the highest mean score was personal treatment, which is mean 2.6063, standard deviation 0.423, while the lowest mean score was on the ability utilization, which is mean 2.5171 and standard deviation 0.405. For the last one, my research objective is to identify the relationship between perceived coach leadership style and athlete satisfaction in UiTM Seremban. All items have proven normal in the normality test through Shapiro-Wilk, histogram and box plots. Hence, the Pearson correlation has been utilized to determine the statistical relationship. From the table, the coach leadership style and athlete satisfaction in your ATM Seremban were low positive correlate. Means that R254 means that total respondent equal 0.226, means that P lower than 0.05. Thus, so we reject the null hypothesis of this research. For the discussion, I will go through one by one. So for research objective first, Based on the result shown on the descriptive statistic, the positive feedback was the subscale with the highest score, followed by training instruction, social support, democratic behavior, and autocratic behavior. According to Handelong and Leper 2002, suggested that positive feedback is more likely to enhance intrinsic motivation and support with Bandura 1977 and Manggil 1998. Others factors, including the perceived credibility, prestige, and proficiency of the feedback provider, as well as the timing and type of feedback, might moderate the impact of positive feedback on the activity related intrinsic interest as well. So from this, what researcher can conclude that athletes more like to get the positive feedback from coach to gain more spirit, and for sure that can help athletes get their best performance for team. For the next discussion, which is research objective 2, the current study show on descriptive statistic, the personal treatment was the subscale with the highest score, followed by training and instruction, strategy, and ability utilization. Personal treatment means that a joint process between a therapist and a person in therapy. In this study show situation coach with their athletes. Common goals of athletes can be inspire themselves, change or improve quality of their life. So they related with Asia Muhammad Pilus and Rosli Sadan 2009, which is there is significant relationship on coaching leadership styles on personal treatment, training and instruction, and athlete satisfaction. Last but not least, for the research objective 3, this study found that there was a low positive significant relationship between coach leadership style and athlete satisfaction in UiTM Seremban. According to Echas and Crane 1993, there was significant relationship between coach leadership style on athlete satisfaction and also team success. According to Range 2002, Dexter 2002, and Elferman 2005, also found that coaches place more emphasis on training and instruction, also positive feedback, while expressing a lower preference for autocratic behavior. So this is references that researcher use to run the research or the study. So that's all from me for my presentation. Thank you very much to the panel, and it will be honored if panel can give the positive feedback and also help to improve my writing before I submit my final draft. So have a nice day, and wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.